Breaking. Iraqi Dinar new rate live. Is this the big RV moment? With your channel intro RV News. Welcome back to RV News, the channel where we bring you the latest, most urgent, and most detailed updates on the Iraqi Dinar, the Vietnamese Dong, and everything connected to the global currency revaluation movement. If you're here, it means you've been following the journey of the Iraqi Dinar for years, perhaps even decades, waiting for that historic moment when the reset finally takes place and the value of the dinar skyrockets into global recognition. Today, my friends, we are covering something that could prove to be the most critical moment yet, as reports are flooding in that a new Iraqi dinar rate is going live. That's right, there is chatter everywhere that the Central Bank of Iraq, alongside key banking partners, may have pulled the trigger. The big question on everyone's mind: is this the long-awaited RV moment? Is this the day when holders of the dinar finally see the payoff for their patience, faith, and perseverance? Stick with me until the very end of this report, because we're going to break down what's happening in real time, what insiders are saying, and what you need to prepare for in this potentially historic financial shift. For years, we've watched Iraq's economic landscape evolve, sometimes slowly, sometimes with dramatic bursts of news. From sanctions to oil wealth, from corruption struggles to reform initiatives, Iraq's story has always been tied to its currency. The dinar has long been undervalued, kept artificially low for reasons tied to international politics, monetary policy, and stability concerns. But now, as rumors of a live rate circulate, it's important to connect the dots. Just this week, we've heard from multiple sources both within the region and from financial contacts outside Iraq that a test rate may have been placed on international screens. Some claim that what they are seeing is no longer placeholder figures, but a real, tradable number that suggests the Central Bank of Iraq has initiated the long-anticipated upward adjustment. The stakes here are enormous. If this rate truly is live, it would mark the culmination of years of speculation and would immediately alter the financial futures of millions of holders worldwide. It would also signify that Iraq has officially entered a new chapter in its economic history, one where it claims its rightful place as a regional powerhouse with a currency that reflects its actual wealth and resources. Iraq is not a poor nation. It has vast oil reserves, natural gas, agricultural potential, and gold reserves. Yet, for decades, its currency has been suppressed, leaving the dinar trading at a fraction of what many economists argue is its true fair market value. If we are seeing a new live rate today, then the correction may finally be happening, and that's why the global financial community is watching this moment with intense focus. What does it mean for everyday dinar holders? This is the question I know is burning in your minds right now. If the new rate is indeed live, the immediate next step is to confirm its presence across multiple banking systems, not just in Iraq, but also in international exchange platforms. Historically, we've seen testing phases where numbers appear and then disappear as part of system checks. However, this time, chatter is indicating something different. We are hearing reports of bank employees being alerted, instructions being updated, and call centers receiving new scripts for how to handle customer inquiries about foreign currency exchange. All of these signs suggest a level of preparation that goes beyond testing. Let's also talk about timing. Why now? Why would the Iraqi Central Bank, along with government approval, choose this exact moment to launch a new rate? To answer this, we have to consider both internal and external factors. Internally, Iraq has been steadily building its foreign currency reserves, cleaning up its financial system, and preparing for international compliance standards. The recent reforms around digital payments, anti-money laundering measures, and banking modernization have been steps toward global integration. Externally, Iraq is under pressure to maximize its oil revenues, stabilize its political structure, and meet commitments with the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. Launching a stronger dinar at this time may help Iraq attract foreign investment, reduce dependence on the US dollar, and assert independence in regional economic negotiations. Another factor to consider is the role of global markets. Currency reevaluations, especially ones as highly anticipated as the dinar, don't happen in a vacuum. They are coordinated with international banking systems, swift integration, and agreements that go far beyond IROC's borders. If this rate is live, it means that the coordination has already been achieved, and major financial institutions have given the green light. That would suggest not just a domestic change, but a global financial event that could ripple into trade agreements, debt settlements, and cross-border investments. For those who have been holding on to the dinar for years, this is the moment that tests patience and discipline. The temptation may be to rush out the door and exchange immediately. But as many financial experts warn, the rollout of a new rate can involve multiple phases. There may be contract rates for large holders, public rates for retail investors, and varying offers depending on the institution. Some banks may impose limits. Some may provide incentives, and others may delay access until final confirmations are received. That means staying informed is absolutely critical, and that's why we at RV News are bringing you this real-time breakdown so you can make decisions based on the best available information. Let's take a moment to reflect on the journey to this point. Over the past decades, dinar investors have faced skepticism, ridicule, and endless delays. Mainstream financial media has often dismissed the possibility of a revaluation as mere fantasy. Yet here we are with reports of a live rate making the rounds. This underscores the importance of perseverance. If this truly is the RV, it will stand as a testament to those who refused to give up, those who believed that IROC's economic reality would eventually align with its currency value. History shows us that suppressed currencies do eventually find equilibrium, and the dinar may be on the cusp of doing exactly that. Now, let's look at what insiders are saying. Several well-connected voices within the financial community have indicated that the new live rate being seen is above the long-assumed $3 mark. Some claim it is closer to $4, others whisper of figures beyond $5. While we must be cautious not to confirm unverified numbers, the fact that multiple sources are pointing toward a significantly higher value than IROC's current program rate is highly encouraging. If IROC truly intends to restore its currency to pre-war levels or beyond, these numbers would make sense, aligning with historical valuations adjusted for inflation and oil market strength. But what about the Vietnamese? Many of you hold both currencies, hoping that the revaluation of one may signal the revaluation of the other. Current chatter suggests that if IROC's rate is live, Vietnam may soon follow, or at the very least, that the spotlight on IROC will increase pressure on Vietnam to adjust its own currency upward. The two currencies are often mentioned together in RV circles, and while IROC may be the front-runner, don't be surprised if movement in the dong follows closely behind. It's also important to acknowledge the risks. A live rate does not guarantee immediate access for all holders. Banks may face liquidity challenges, exchange centers may run into compliance delays, and governments may impose temporary restrictions to control the outflow of funds. For this reason, preparation is key. Make sure you have your documentation in order, understand your bank's policies, and consider seeking professional financial advice before making irreversible moves. Wealth preservation is just as important as wealth creation, and in times like these, hasty decisions can lead to regret. Another angle worth exploring is the geopolitical impact. A revalued dinar strengthens IROC's position in OPEC negotiations, regional trade, and international diplomacy. It reduces the leverage of external actors who have benefited from IROC's weakened currency. It also positions IROC as a more formidable economic player in the Middle East, with ripple effects potentially influencing Iran, Turkey, and the Gulf states. A live rate isn't just about numbers on a screen, it's about shifting balances of power, both economically and politically. Now, let's zoom in on the reactions of ordinary Iraqis. For the Iraqi people, a stronger dinar means improved purchasing power, reduced inflation, and better living standards. It also means greater national pride, as their currency reflects the nation's true wealth. However, there is also the challenge of managing expectations. If the new rate causes a sudden surge in demand for imports or destabilizes local markets, the government will need to carefully manage policies to avoid unintended consequences. This is why we may see a gradual rollout, even if the international screens are already showing the live rate. I also want to address an important point many people ask, whether this moment will be publicized openly in mainstream media or if it will be quietly managed behind the scenes. Based on history, major financial shifts often start quietly, with only those paying close attention noticing the changes. Over time, as confirmations solidify, mainstream media picks up the story. That means you, the RV news community, are on